All right, St. Louis, we're catching up with two local celebrities who's raced around the world on the Amazing Race. Get ready to meet Pops and Jeff, and that's not all. We're gonna meet the director of the St. Louis Symphony's In Unison Choir as they celebrate a milestone. That's all coming up right here on City Corner. Hey everybody, welcome to City Corner. I'm Tim Lampley. My guests today are two contestants on The Amazing Race, one of my favorite reality TV shows. Check this out.
Go, go, go!
St. Louisans are buzzing with excitement and glued to CBS's Amazing Race each week as they watch two of their own, St. Louis natives, father and son duo Pops Bailey and Jeff Bailey, navigate their way around the world competing in a series of challenges, some mental and some physical, with the first team to arrive at the final destination winning a $1 million prize. Both Jeffs describe themselves as lumberjacks and are part of the largest cast ever in the history of the nearly 25-year-old reality series. This season of the show is dubbed the Season of Surprises.
Being a lumberjack, we climb trees, trim trees, prune trees, remove trees. Sometimes we split wood. Growing up, I watched him do it. I was probably about 7 or 8 years old when he first handed me a chainsaw. When Jeff was born, I knew then my friend was born right there. I always wanted him to be better and have more and do more. And actually, The Amazing Race is like a dream come true.
My favorite line is like a dream come true. I love that for you too. My guests today are Jeff and Jeff. We call one Pops and the other is his son, the two contestants on The Amazing Race. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you for having us, man.
Pleasure being here.
Super excited to be here.
How are you two dealing with this new celebrity status here?
I don't know. I don't think it really feels like celebrity status. It's just super exciting to meet people that have been watching what we've been doing. I've been watching reality competition shows now for about 5 or 6 years. I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the race around COVID time. And I don't have a lot of friends or family members that watch it as well. So the really good thing about this is I'm meeting race fans. Like you said, it's one of your favorite reality TV shows. I can't wait to have conversations with you about it. You know what I mean? So that's how we take it in. When they come to us and they talk to us about it, it's just another opportunity to talk to another fan of the show, you know?
Yeah. You said this was a dream come true. Why was this the dream? Why not Survivor? Or Big Brother or something? But
it's like we're on the same team on Amazing Race. We are on the same team now. And that's a little different than Survivor. And the fact that him and I are doing these different challenges and this competition, we always love that anyway. Yeah. So it's like a dream came true, you know? Yeah. So we're doing it. We're actually doing it now, and we traveling around the world.
I'm messing with you a little bit, but I am curious about one thing. What in the world is a lumberjack in 2025 in Missouri? I mean, you're not just like chopping trees and building houses and lighting fires. I mean, what does that mean?
It's similar. My dad, he started his tree company maybe like 40 years ago.
Yeah.
I grew up working for him for as far back as I can remember. I'm 36 now, so when he was beginning in his business, I watched him build it. I watched him go out and build his clientele up, going door to door. We cut trees down. He climbs them. I typically go up in a bucket to cut them down. We split wood, you know, whether we're doing it with an axe or with a hydraulic wood splitter. We sell firewood, we sell lumber. So it's pretty much exactly what it was back in the day. We haven't built any log cabins though.
Well, that leads me though to how you stay in such good physical shape. Yeah. 65? Mm-hmm. And that's the question that everyone asks. What do you tell them when they ask you that question? How do you stay in such good shape at 65?
I mean, since high school and college, I've always, after brushing my teeth, I always jump down and do push-ups. Yeah. And I've been doing it for years. So other than always being active, you know, out in the field doing physical work,
The key is push-ups?
Push-ups make a difference, man. He do 100 of them every morning.
Yeah, every morning, faithfully.
Like in one sitting.
Just tell them to wait for the book. How about that? You know,
get the
like
secret
that.
sauce then.
Why did you want to take this on though at 65?
Well, age, I never even thought about at 65. It was just an opportunity. My son came to me about it and like, hey, we're going to be on Amazing Race. I'm like, yeah, right. And then he said, we're going to also throw the first pitch for the Cardinals.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. Yeah. And then a week later, there we were. They caught on Zoom with the producers.
Yeah, with the casting producers.
And man, so it was like a dream come true. And him and I are on the same team. You know, I'm used to like seeing him play ball. You know, as a kid coming up playing basketball, football. Never would I would thought we were going to be on the same team on national TV doing something together at my age. So
And outside of just being a lumberjack, tell me a little bit more about your lives outside of this.
Well, we're both born and raised in St. Louis. Pops is from U City. I grew up mostly in North County.
You're both taken, right? Yeah. So ladies, camera here. Ladies, unfortunately,
married. I've been married for almost 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
yeah, we're both married. That's for sure.
Yeah. And I got a 12-year-old daughter, a 4-year-old son. That's my greatest accomplishment in life is the type of father that I am to those two children. Because my daughter, she was born with a really, really rare skin condition, which is just birthmarks like everywhere. Mm-hmm. And so as soon as she was born, we learned a lot about it, and we figured out ways to make sure that she can grow up and be, the confident, beautiful little girl that she is. And I bought her a doll when she was 5 with all the same matching birthmarks. I found a company out in Amsterdam that did that. And it's like, ever since then, I've always kind of wanted to bring attention to such a really rare skin condition because nobody really knows much about it until,
What's it called?
It's called nevus. It's just nevus, which is the scientific word for literally birthmarks. It's everywhere on her body. It's her beauty marks, and she's grown. She's 12 now. She'll be 13 this year. She's super confident, and, she knows that that's the skin that she's in.
Beautiful
nice
little girl.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Yep.
That's nice to hear. And I'll be honest, though, the show itself looks very stressful. In terms of your relationship, how did the show impact your relationship as father and son?
I think we've always competed against each other. So being on that show, there was no animosity or us throwing darts at one another. We was like, it was fun.
I saw that with some of the other contestants.
You're gonna see that every season, and it's about who you take with you, and what your dynamic is, right? Like me and Pops. For one, I'm not raising my voice at this man. So it's like, you already got that. We're not going to argue because of that, but it was just natural to...
You got that old school training.
Yeah, that old school training. Yeah, I'm not going to do it. So we're going to have much better interactions than, if it was me and one of my friends or if it was my wife and I, we talk about it all the time. I don't know what leg we would have made it to, So, so it just depends on who you got with you.
Pops, which was scarier, skydiving or riding with your son on an ATV?
Riding with my son.
And I see that he's such a daredevil, and then he gets on the back of the ATV and he's like, slow down, Jeff, slow down, use your brakes, Jeff.
The only reason I was saying that we were in a good place at the time, I just said, what could possibly happen now? We're doing good. Is it gonna flip over? Is he gonna go? So other than that, I wasn't scared, but I just wanted him to just, hey, we good.
At the airport after that leg, you see everybody's talking about, I was speeding and we went over this corner and we did this, and I couldn't even relate.
That's okay.
We were just cruising. It felt like,
yeah. How have you guys managed to stay in the race so far and so long?
Determination.
Determination.
Yeah.
I give credit to, like I said, our relationship. We don't buckle or fold when things get hard. It was hot, and that heat got to a lot of people. I felt it myself. I had to wear long sleeves and long pants because of my tattoos, so I felt that heat. But we cut trees down when it's hot, and we always could think back to what we do on a daily basis anyways and realize this ain't as hard as that.
Right, absolutely.
It was a leg, with the double U-turn vote, right? Mm-hmm. That was an opportunity for us to get the people that were in the front to kind of turn on each other and cause a little bit of chaos. And that was our strategy from the moment that we realized it was going to be a social game in the race.
Be honest, what team were you happy to see be eliminated?
What team was I happy to see be eliminated? Every leg, I was happy to see anybody else be eliminated.
That's how I feel. Anybody else.
Anybody
There was no
else,
certain team, anybody else.
I mean, our number one allies are Erica and Melinda. We were really close with Scott and Lori. Everybody was really close to Scott and Lori, we realized. So, but yeah, I wasn't happy to see anybody go at any point, you know.
Big watch party here in St. Louis for you two. Fans, family, friends.
Yeah.
Describe what that was like, Pops.
Oh, that was, man, it was just, I didn't realize St. Louis can bring so much love, man.
Yeah.
It was like, and your question before about how do we feel, it's like we got more friends now, you know?
Yeah.
You know, it just seems so cool.
I'm one of them.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. You sure are.
But
You
I
sure
would have been I would have met you and thought you were cool people.
Yeah. Likewise.
Prior to this,
You know, we were already fans of you before all of this. So
Right.
Yeah. So it's just super exciting. Like you say, the watch party. We walked in and we were so surprised to see the turnout. Even though we had saw the RSVPs, it just seemed too good to be true. So to see the turnout and just the positivity and the outpouring of love from everybody and how excited they was every time we popped up on the screen, it's amazing, man.
I never seen so many smiles, man.
Never.
Just so many smiles.
Yeah, it's a beautiful.
It was a room full of folks, and they all sat to watch the premiere of the show too.
Yeah,
which I thought was great.
Right there with us.
Yeah.
What in terms of like your favorite challenges? Can you tell me what challenge you found to be something that you're like, we're going to excel at this? This is really great here.
It was swinging that hammer, making mochi balls.
Right.
Yeah, when I saw the demonstration. And they would swing. It looked like they were swinging the axe, you know, something I'm used to doing. Yeah. And I just couldn't wait to grab that hammer and get to swing. I'm pretty sure I swung like 40 times more than I needed to. I learned a lot from that challenge because it was about attention to detail.
Pops, most difficult challenge.
Most difficult challenge, actually, when I thought of any of those like puzzles or memories, I thought it would be difficult, but this man here, he just executed me before I could even when he said, "We're done, check." I'm like, check what? You know, what's it?
He literally said that.
Yeah, I literally
when
said
we did origami.
He was, he didn't give me a chance to think about, It was always, let's go.
But I was so proud of him because the one that I thought would be difficult is when he went out on a surfboard and had to match the two decals because I know they'll be tricky with those decals. But he came back so fast. I literally got up to go yell towards the people on the surfboard and say, "Pops, you got it, you can do this." And while I'm yelling, I look over and he's almost back to shore with the matching surfboard. So I was super proud.
You know, one of the things I really love about this show is the fact that you get to explore and see so much and travel the world and challenge yourself. You know, don't you find that was probably the most just fascinating in general, right?
Absolutely.
That was, but it was more like, it was beautiful where we went, but we were like looking at it like this.
Yeah.
We were still running.
We had to speed past it.
Yeah, we had to speed past it.
It's a priceless experience because never within 30 days or within that amount of time are you going to be able to see all of these different monuments and go into these temples and do all these different activities. And then the most valuable thing of it is the other 13 teams that we have become a family with. Like, we're really close with all the other teams. And those are new friends.
So how can fans keep up with you outside of watching the show, guys?
Well,
we got Instagram at Pops and Jeff on Instagram. My Instagram is The Black Lumberjack with like periods in between the words. That's the best way to keep up with us.
Again, you can catch these two in action on Wednesdays at 8:30 Central on CBS. Guys, who won the $1 million?
That's $1 million question.
Yeah, it's $1 million. We've been in a lot of trouble if we answer that.
This was fun. Thank you guys for joining.
Okay, thank you.
I really appreciate it.
Our pleasure, my man. Our pleasure.
And coming up, you'll meet the director of the St. Louis Symphony's In Unison Choir and find out how you too can audition to be part of this inspiring chorus. That's after the break.
Did you know that you can watch STL TV on your smartphone or tablet? That's right. STL TV is available on your Android or iOS mobile devices. And That includes our live broadcast channels as well as video on demand content. It is really easy to get started. Just find the App Store on your device, then search for Cablecast. Select it and click to install. Launch the app, and if you're in the St. Louis area, STL TV should be the first channel to show up. If you're not in the area, you may have to scroll down to find it. So just click on the STL TV logo, and in just a few seconds, you're enjoying STL TV's great programming such as City Corner, Inside Sports, City Government, What's the 314, or my personal favorite, In the Kitchen.
Where's your emergency?
Hey everybody, and welcome back to City Corner. I'm Tim Lampley. If you haven't seen a performance of the St. Louis Symphony's In Unison Chorus, you're seriously missing out. I mean, really. Check this out. For 3 decades, a powerful voice has resonated within the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra. A voice not just of strings and brass, but of community, culture, and the undeniable vibrancy of Black musical heritage. That voice is In Unison. What began as a one-time performance, a dedicated effort to celebrate the profound influence of Black music within the symphonic choral tradition, has blossomed into a vital and enduring thread in the cultural fabric of St. Louis. For the past 15 years, the guiding force behind In Unison has been director Kevin McBeth. His passion, vision, and unwavering dedication have helped shape the chorus into what it is today. And Kevin McBeth took over as director of the In Unison Chorus in 2011, and he's here with us today. Kevin, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Tim. Thanks. Excited to be here.
This music is really good for the soul, wouldn't you say?
It is, and even for us on stage, you know, it's we know that our audiences really enjoy what we do, but the opportunity and the feedback that we get from their involvement in our concerts, it really is, you know, it's an experience for everybody involved.
What ingredients go into making this into this wonderful feast that we see when we see it and hear this in concert?
Sure. I think probably the hardest part of my job, the most important part of my job, is the music that I select. And I'm really, really lucky in my job that I get the opportunity to choose and select music that I think is going to move our audience, and it's going to help us connect with them. And so once I have the program chosen, then I think the rest of it comes easy. I think everybody else can buy into it. And so there's a level of excitement, there's a level of opportunity to reflect, and some quiet moments, and all of those things just come together. I think concerts really have to be an experience that take you from one point to the next.
Mm-hmm. And given what you just said too, how do you see In Unison contributing to the artistic landscape that is St. Louis?
They have been an important part of the St. Louis fabric for 30 years as we're celebrating this anniversary. And so an integral part of the St. Louis Symphony family. We believe that we are one of the few orchestras that have 2 resident choruses. So there's the St. Louis Symphony Chorus, mm-hmm. and then the In Unison Chorus. And we feel like we're sort of number one in that. We just heard recently that there's a group in Chicago that's hoping to try to form something that's similar to the In Unison experience, because they don't have that with their particular orchestra. So outside of being innovative in what we do, this group has become an important part of the symphony family, of the concerts that we offer, and a regular part of everything that goes on there.
It is amazing. But let's talk a little bit about you too and how you came here. So you're native of Houston.
Houston, Texas is home.
And music, you're still a student of music. I just mentioned that to you during the break. Would you describe yourself as a child prodigy? When I think about the things that you've done and how you were so attracted to music as a child.
I don't know. A child prodigy is kind of a tall order there, so I don't know that I would go that far. But it's just always been a part of me, and in those, in my early years, my parents and my older siblings would talk about how I was just drawn to music, and so at church I was always the first one to go down and stand close to the piano so I could see what was going on, or be by the organ so I could watch the organist. I've just always had an interest in that. I've been told that I sang from the very beginning, so singing was always a part of what I did, and grew up in a family that really encouraged me to do that. I had a wonderful opportunity to go to a magnet arts high school where all of this stuff was just nurtured, and so I've had my education has been an incredible part of my journey, and has made me the musician that I am. So it's an important part of my DNA, I would say.
And what was really important too, probably, was the support of your parents.
Sure,
Talk to me
sure.
about that when you are taking that journey.
Yeah, absolutely. I always say that I came from sort of a mixed home. My mother was missionary Baptist, and so I got the early training in gospel and the early interest in gospel music going to church with her, and eventually became one of the musicians at the church and played piano with my big sister singing in the choir. So got that start early, and then my father was Lutheran, and so on the Sundays that I would go to church with him, I learned to love hymns and hymn singing and congregational singing and how the liturgy became an important part of the church. And so I came from just a really rich history at a very young age, and had no idea how all of those things would come together to form who I am as a musician right now. And so as I returned to the symphony in 2011, it was sort of coming full circle. So the classical background and all of those things, and all of the rich history in music that I had, plus all of those early years in gospel music that I got to experience. So it all came together. Yeah.
It did come together, and it's interesting how you choose the repertoire that you do and how that reflects the In Unison mission, right?
Sure, it's an important part of that, and this particular chorus is very unique in that, of course, music of the African diaspora is at the core of what we do, and so spirituals and gospel, that's always going to be present. Those things, in fact, our audiences, they when they come to those concerts, they know that that's what they're going to hear. They're going to hear some great gospel tunes and some great spiritual arrangements and things that are indigenous to that kind of music. But in addition to that, they'll hear Mozart, and they'll hear Beethoven, and they'll hear what we're saying now is some non-idiomatic stuff, classical style pieces that are written by Black composers now. So we love commissioning new works. In fact, we have put in a shameless plug for the St. Louis Symphony In Unison Chorus choral series. So we are commissioning music, new music for our chorus and orchestra that are part of the makeup of who we are. So we do a little bit of everything.
And I understand that you actually study the composers before you choose them as part of that repertoire that we talked about.
I think that's
how much of that do you do?
Yeah, I think that's an important part, because as we are learning the music, really what we're trying to do is kind of get into the head to sort of get behind what the composer's thinking and what they're doing.
That history.
It's all a rich part of that, and so it's an interesting thing, because with living composers we can do that very easily. So I'm happy to say that we're connected to a lot of the composers that we perform, so that makes life really wonderful for us. So if we want to know, for instance, Andre Thomas is coming to conduct this concert that we're doing for our community concert, and we're singing several of his pieces. He has become a good friend. He's a wonderful advocate of the In Unison Chorus, has been with us before, and is now coming back as a guest conductor. So when we want to know more about his music, I can just call him and say, okay, so what did you mean here, or what does this mean? So with living composers, that makes it very easy, and we try to foster that relationship. So the chorus is very connected to a lot of the composers that we sing, and we're lucky in that way that they're living composers that we can do. We can no longer call up Mozart and find out what he's thinking, or Beethoven, but so we don't have those kinds of connections.
Well, maybe you can, but they won't answer back.
Exactly. So through those things, we kind of have to be informed about what the style was at the time and how all that became a part. But
or Handel, which I love some of that. of stuff.
Yeah, some of the Messiah and those.
Exactly.
Kinds of, sure, yeah.
What's it like when you have a guest performer like BB Winans or Jennifer Holliday or Take Six?
Yeah,
How do you prepare for that?
Right. So
that's a lot going on there.
My responsibility then is I really have to know that music backwards and forwards. In fact, just recently, another one of my colleagues was able to do a concert with BB, and he called me up and he said, "So what do I need to know? I'm getting ready to work with BB. What do I need to be prepared for?" And I said, really, the most important thing is just to study that music, know the ins and outs of what's going on, listen to his recordings, and that's another thing that's really great. When we work with Take Six, we can just access all of that stuff, through social media, through YouTube, so it's up to me to just study all of that as we're learning it. And so even with the chorus, we'll listen to recordings, we'll watch videos so that they can also understand, what it is that we're looking for and what it is that we're trying to be prepared for. And then when they arrive, then we just take it to the next level. So.
Yes. And I got two things I really want to get to real quick before we close out. And one is this milestone celebration of the In Unison Chorus. And how would one audition to become part of that chorus?
Well, and both really important things. This milestone is important to us, I think, because of the fact, in our world right now, things like equity and diversity, all of those EDI, all of the letters that people are talking about. I am always proud to say that the St. Louis Symphony was doing EDI 30 years ago when it wasn't even a conversation. It was just a part of the fabric. And where Powell Hall is, we're close to historic Black churches, and so it was the Symphony's mission to make sure that we were connected with all those great congregations and those great churches and those great choirs. And so back in the day when we were auditioning, that's where a lot of our singers came from. We're from these historically incredible churches. Life has changed, times have changed. Choirs aren't so big in churches right now, so we continue to draw from all over the community. So we want really talented singers from all walks of life who have a passion to do what we're doing. And that's when they come and audition, that's one of the questions I ask them in the audition. Why is it that you want to sing with In Unison Chorus? Have you heard us and do you understand our music? To make sure that they understand and are connected to the profile of who
Would they
we
just
are.
sign up online or for an audition?
Go to the Symphony website. All of the audition information is there. They can find out more. They can contact us, and then we get them connected.
And Powell Hall will be open this year?
We are
after renovation?
So excited to move back into Powell in September. It's been a long 2 years, and excited to go back as that building celebrates its 100th birthday. It's just kind of amazing that 1925 the Missouri Theater then became Powell Hall, and so we're really excited to be back. Excited for the return to that auditorium that everybody loves. It's going to look and feel the same than all of this new space that's a part of that renovation.
Can't wait. Again, you have the opportunity to see the chorus live and up close for free April 27th at the Greater Grace Church in Ferguson. Kevin, again, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Really
Thanks, Tim.
appreciate your time. And that's going to be a wrap. We'll catch you next time right here on City Corner. Goodbye, everybody.